Platform engineering is the most trending buzzword in the industry at the moment. Why? Because it really helps to boost your developers' efficiency. But a lot of things are still unclear around platform engineering. What is it? What is its value? What are the principles of building one? And what is the ROI you are going to get if you are going to build one? This is why I'm going to explain all of this in this video. Let's go! Let's start from the beginning on what is platform engineering and what is IDP or internal developer platform. And for that, let's take a look on two different definitions. The first one from Humanitech. And what they defined as an internal developer platform is the sum of all tech and tools that a platform engineering team binds together to pave the golden path for developers. It means that the internal developer platform is whatever the platform engineering team binds together for developer efficiency. It's a very general definition, and maybe let's take a look on another definition by the CNCF for internal platform for cloud native computing. And what they defined is that a platform for cloud native computing is an integrated collection of capabilities defined and presented according to the needs of the platform's users. And this definition is very focused on the platform's users and whatever they need. And what we can learn from that is that there is no clear definition to what is an internal developer platform. So, for myself, the definition is an internal developer platform is an internal self-serve product, which is a set of tools and capabilities that allows developers to be self-sufficient and deliver the software efficiently. It can be everything required for them in order to deliver their software, from infrastructure like Kubernetes clusters to even documentation platforms so they will be able to document their own services. As long as it's a single self-serve product. And this is the different approach from what we saw 5 years ago. 5 years ago, there was different tools and the developers would have to navigate between all of those. But now we are looking for a single tool, a self-serve product that anyone can use with everything they need. After discussing what is an IDP, let's talk about what is the value of IDP. So the first thing is that it accelerates product development and delivery by reducing the cognitive load on product teams. Why is that? Because the product teams can go into a single tool, the single platform, and actually get everything they need. They don't need to remember anything. They don't need to understand how to use the tool because everything is automated for them. They can go into a single place and get everything they need. It much reduces the cognitive loads and allows them to be much more efficient. The second thing is improve reliability and resiliency of products relying on platform capabilities by dedicating experts to configure and manage them. So in enterprises, you can find 5 different tools doing the same things managed by 5 different teams. But when you combine them into a single product, a single platform, and the experts actually manage those tools, you would get the benefit of the experts managing the best tool, and you can spread it across all the organization, make everything much more reliable and resilient across the organization. The third thing is accelerate product development and delivery by reusing and sharing platform tools and knowledge across many teams in an enterprise. And what is nice is that in enterprise sometimes 5 or 10 different teams actually developing the same service with the same functions in it. And what you want is actually to reuse other team services in order to be much more efficient. And it's very hard to discover like what the other team from other department and maybe other country actually doing. And using those single platform, you can understand which APIs and services are available for you and you don't need to develop it on your own. The fourth thing is reduce the risk of security, regulatory, and functional issues in the product Because if you do automate the platform to be very secured, be like the CISO would love your platform and what it does to the developers. So developers can actually just consume services from the platform and get all the automation, security in it, and make it much more efficient for you. The fifth thing is enable cost-effective and productive use of services. As we said before, if you reuse and reshare services and APIs across the organization, it's allow you to run project much more efficient and actually reduce the cost of development and delivery across the organization. And that's a big value because what you want is to reduce the cost and deliver more software much more faster. We talked about some of the challenges in the value themselves, but let's list 5 different challenges that internal developer platform can solve for you. So the first is too much cognitive load. Like developers today have too much cognitive load. They need to have an organizational knowledge. They also need to understand all the tools in the organization in order to operate and manage your own application. They also need to be an expert in the framework inside their organization. It creates a lot of cognitive loads, making them not very efficient. And using internal developer platform, we can reduce all of that. The second thing is tribal knowledge and the fact that there is no internal docs. In many organizations, a lot of the knowledge is tribal knowledge. It means that you need to Slack or send a private message to someone to get some of the information or to different teams. But if it's a really big organization with maybe 100 of product teams, it's maybe not even possible to get some of the information. The third thing is code and development duplication. We talked about it. If you don't reuse and reshare your services, your APIs, and the code, you actually do duplication, which is not very efficient. It means that you pay double for the same value that you had before. The fourth thing is some services are human-based. It means that there is no automation for it. You need to open a ticket for one of the DevOps team. They will maybe code or create a pipeline for you. And if that is not automated and not bound in the product, that creates bound or maybe dependent on specific humans to deliver their own platform or services. It means that you do not create a product, you create services managed by humans, and that's not very efficient to scale with. So you want to reduce that. The fifth thing is no unified processes across the organization. As large as the organization can be, it means that there are many processes across the same organization. It's very hard to unify them and to be very efficient. But if there is one product, one team, that everything going to be connected to it and all the processes are going to be embedded in the product, you would get much more efficient. You need to manage just one process and everyone knows how to use the same single process in the platform itself. If you will be able to solve all these 5 challenges, your life will be much, much better and your developer's life will be much, much more efficient. If the answer is yes, you may need an internal developer platform. Until now, we talked about what is it, the values, the challenges, but now I want to take you one step deeper into how the architecture of internal developer platform can look like. And we are going to use the CNCF diagram examples that you can see in here. And we can see that at the bottom, we got the platform capabilities, what our platform are able to do. And we can see that we have infrastructure, messaging, data, security, and monitoring, observability, all the things that we need in order to run, build, operate our services. But developers do not really care about these tools. What they want is actually to consume those very, very easily. The platform should provide those tools and the user should just consume them as cloud services and cloud provider. And for that at the top, we got the platform interfaces where actually product and application teams go into this product interface portal and actually consume the services. And we can see, for example, at the user interface, we got Backstage, which is the leading internal developer platform in the CNCF. And we can see that we have documentation and search, templating, all the things that developers do really care about them. And what it allows you is actually to create a centralized and simplified end-to-end software development when you consume the capabilities from a very simplified one product interface, and you create this abstraction layer on top of the capabilities and all the tools. When we mention internal developer platform, the first thing that pops into your mind is the portal. And the portal is maybe the most important piece because it's actually how you expose the services into the product teams. But when you're building your own internal developer platform, you need to consider a lot of capabilities to be embedded in it. For example, you want to have the software catalog, which is part of the portal, but someone needs to write this software catalog. You need to go into your services, you need to actually write some documentation about them, you need to write it in a certain way, you need to import it into the platform. This is only one capability that you have in the portal. You may want to embed automation workflows into the portal. So the most critical automation, you want to actually develop them into some automation like service creation, dependency update, deploy, maybe build if you are not releasing on a daily basis or much shorter cadence. The third thing is maybe tools aggregation. You want to have information from multiple tools into the portal. So you want to have these tools like metric tools, observability tools, alerting, logging. Documentation and APIs are very important if you want to reuse and make the use of one team in others' team service. We want to make sure that API documentation are available, are up to date, and accessed from a single place. You may want to have some templates. So for example, if you want to deploy a new service, let's say a Python Flask service or a Node.js service, you may want to have a template in your internal platform. It means the developer will click on a button, automation will run and create everything needed in order to run an application or microservices in the organization. So the fact that is everything developer needs to build, test, run, and deploy the application, framework, pipelines, tools, everything should be embedded in a single place. And this is why internal developer platform is very hard to define, because every organization needs to think about its challenges and what they need to solve and to build a product to be the most efficient product for their own developers. Who is going to build your internal developer platform? So in many organizations, we find out that there is a platform team. And the platform team consists of many people that actually are able to deliver this internal developer platform. So we need some people that understand the lower level in the platform, like the cloud engineering, maybe the DevOps, so the technologies in the middleware that allow us to actually bring services to our developers. But we also want to have some backend and front-end developers to actually help us to expose those services and be consumed by the product teams. So we need to have a team which is actually a vertical in the diagram, expertise in any one of the levels that helps us to bring this internal developer platform into the developers. And that means this platform team is a very unique team. To wrap up this video, IDP is a self-serve product built by the platform engineering team in order to make the developers much more self-sufficient in the organization. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. In the next video, we are going to go one step further into backstage.